to the hottest movie review on the internet today, the A-List Review. I am your host, the Game Changer, Wes Troop. And today I'm here to review a movie that came out this past weekend. As you can see, it's time to go back to the theater. And ladies and gentlemen, this didn't even make it in the top 10 for the box office. It has a whopping 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is the reason why I love my job, because I get to go and sit through this movie for 2 hours and tell you if I like it or not. Maybe I'll be one of the very few that like this movie. We'll find out. My review of the 2018 drama, Life Itself, coming up now. Okay. Following a number of very different people during a few generations in New York and Spain and how they all end up intertwining, the main story follows Will Dempsey and his lovely wife Abby, who he meets in college. We also find out more about their daughter Dylan, as well as a family in Spain. So what did I think of Life Itself? I thought it's a horrific drama. It's written and directed by the creator of This Is Us, Dan Fogelman, and having seen that show, it's certainly not on par with that. A better title for this movie would be This Is Crap. It does actually feel a bit like a television series, but one where a whole season's worth of material was crammed into 2 hours. In my screening, there were 2 other viewers who walked out of the theater 20 minutes in, and I must say, I really wish I had done the same and was actually tempted a number of times, something that I never really get the urge to do. The structure of the film gives us 5 different chapters named after the characters where we learn more about their lives, some that go on a little more longer than others. It's a lot like the other large ensemble movies like Valentine's Day or Mother's Day, where all of the stories end up intertwining, but this movie even becomes more preposterous than those. These stories are exceedingly forced, and we can see how they all will end up connecting 500 miles away. The film is extremely manipulative, trying to get the audience to tear up or be in shock at certain things that happen. The entire thing is such a huge downer, giving us about as many deaths as a horror movie. After all of the depressing things, it tries to end things on a positive note, trying to give us inspiration through grief to make you think you watched something good and uplifting, and it's almost laughable at how flat it falls on its face from reaching that goal. It's also one of the most melodramatic projects I've seen in a long time, where so many over-the-top things happen to these characters. There are some attempts at comedy here and there, all of which is exceptionally lame. The film also wastes our precious time with nonsensical conversations, with things like Bob Dylan, who the movie seems to be obsessed with, or picking olives, resulting in boring monologues that feel like they'll never end. There's also the use in the first chapter of the character narrating his story like he's Ebenezer Scrooge and showing the spirits parts of his past that I felt was random and failed very much. Speaking of narrators, this movie has a huge focus on the unreliable narrator, a thesis one of the main characters wrote in college, which is more annoying than it is clever. We also get a random celebrity narrator who opens the film and then is never heard from again. The first chapter was really the only time where I wasn't sure what was happening at first. After that, we catch on, and it becomes one of the most predictable movies I've seen in a long time. The movie actually really comes to a halt about midpoint, when it goes to Spain and we have to suffer through those long monologues, and becomes even harder to sit through. It really felt like a 4-hour experience instead of 2. The characters make some really stupid decisions throughout. There's a horrendous love triangle. It's riddled with unneeded flashbacks and even a god-awful song performance that made me want to slam my head against a wall. Many of the characters are horribly annoying as well, like nails on a chalkboard bad. I actually felt bad for the cast for being saddled with this crap. Starring Oscar Isaac as Will Dempsey, the writer struggling from his wife leaving him. Olivia Wilde as Abby Dempsey, Will's wife, who has a strong love for Bob Dylan. Olivia Cook as Dylan, Will and Abby's daughter, who's the lead singer for the band PB&J. Antonio Banderas as Vincent Saccone, the wealthy olive farm owner, and Mandy Patinkin as Irwin Dempsey, Will's loving father. While I've seen a lot of bad movies this year, Life itself will likely be the worst, as it's pretentious, sappy, and a cinematic train wreck that was a miserable theatrical experience. Life itself, no surprise here, you know what rating you're gonna get? I only got 2 words for you. Suck it. All right, well, that's the show. I'll be back with another review very soon. But until then, don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube. YouTube.com/WestsideOf515. Like the show on Facebook, Facebook.com/WestTruePlaylist. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter and the Instagram @WestAlist. Until next time, Troop out.